In this video, you will learn how to solve radical equations. When you solve a radical equations, there are a couple of steps that we need to follow. The first thing we need to do is isolate one radical. The next thing we have to do is square both sides. I'm actually going to put raised to a power here because sometimes we don't have a square root, we might have a cube root or a fourth root. Then we're going to solve for x and check for extraneous solutions. We repeat steps 1 and 2. Once I get rid of one radical, I can then get rid of the other. Why do we have to check for extraneous solutions? Well, that's because we can take two things that are not equal, such as 3 and negative 3, and by squaring both sides, I can make those two things equal. And because we're working with algebraic expressions, we're not going to know if we have this first situation. We're not going to know if the two things are not equal. So because of that, we always have to check for extraneous solutions. So I like to use a mnemonic to remember this. We're going to isolate the radical. We're going to raise it to a power. We're going to solve, and we're going to check. So I use IRS check. And I like to say, call the IRS and tell them the check is in the mail. And if they don't answer, hang up and call again. In other words, go back, isolate the second radical, and go from there. So we're going to solve a couple of examples here, and we'll actually graph these as well. So for the first example, I've already isolated. This is already isolated, so I'm going to start by squaring both sides. That's going to give me 3x plus 1 equals 16. That's, if subtracting 1 gives me 3x equals 15, and dividing we get x equals 5. So we know that if x is 5, this is a true statement. Now what does the graph look like? Well, let's take both sides of our equation. Y equals the square root of 3x plus 1, and also y equals 4, and graph these. So y equals 4 is just the horizontal line at 4. And the square root of 3x plus 1 is a horizontal shrink that has been shifted to the left 1. So let me plot just a couple of ordered pairs here. If x is 0, I'm going to get the square root of 4, which is 2. So we're at 0, 2. If x is negative 1/3, you'll notice we get negative 1 plus 1, which is 0. And then let's see if I get x equals 5, that's 15 plus 1, or 16. Square root of 16 is 4. So this graph is going to look something like this, and you can see that the place where they cross is. Now don't forget that part of our process is to actually check our solution. So if we check in the original equation, the square root of 3x plus 1 equals 4, we notice if we plug in the 5, we get the square root of 16, which is in fact 4. In this situation, part B, we notice that our radical is not isolated. So the first thing I'm going to do is subtract 5 from each side. Then I'm going to square both sides. So I've isolated, now I'm raising it to a power. I get x plus 7 on the left. And don't forget to FOIL here, that's one of the most common mistakes. We actually get x squared minus 10x plus 25. And then I will subtract x and 7. So we get minus 11x, and subtracting 7, we get plus 18. And this will factor as x minus 9 and x minus 2. So our solutions will be 9 and 2. So we actually get 2 answers, or do we? At this point, we need to check and make sure that our 2 solutions work. So I'm going to check x equals 9. I'll get 5 plus the square root of 16 equals 9. And 5 plus 4 does in fact equal 9. So this is a good solution. And if I check x equals 2, I get 5 plus the square root of 9 equals 2. And 5 plus 3 does not equal 2, so this is an extraneous solution. We have to just toss that out the window. Now, what does this one look like? Well, I'm going to actually graph y equals the square root of x plus 7 plus 5. So this is a square root that has gone left 7 and up 5. So we're going to go minus 7 and up 5. And this is going to grow like this. And then we'll also graph y equals x, the right-hand side of that equation. And we can see that this line here is going to cross right here at x equals 9. Okay, for our last example, we have 2 radicals. So for 2 radicals, we have to isolate one of them. Remember, we're going to isolate, raise, solve, check. So let's isolate this first one, the square root of x minus 3, and we will subtract the second radical, x plus 5. The next thing we have to do is raise both sides to a power. In this case, we're squaring. So we have x minus 3 equals, and let me write this one out because I still have to FOIL this. And we'll have x minus 3. 4 times 4 is 16. Minus 4 root x plus 5. And then the insides, minus 4 root x plus 5. And then the last, plus, because it's a negative times a negative, and when you multiply a square root by itself, you just get that inside or the radicand. Okay, so let's now combine our like terms. Minus 4 of those things minus 4 of those things is minus 8 of those x plus 5 roots. We also have a 16 plus 5, which is 21, and we also have an x. So I still have a radical. This is where we hang up and call again. So I'm going to subtract x from each side, noticing that that makes that go away. And I'm going to subtract 21, and I now have minus 24 equals minus 8 root x plus 5. Dividing by minus 8, I get 3 equals the square root of x plus 5. And then I square both sides because I've now isolated my second radical. 9 equals x plus 5, and then x is equal to 4. I do need to check my answer. So in this particular case, when we check this, I get the square root of 4 minus 3, which is 1, and the square root of 4 plus 5, which is 9, equals 4. And 1 plus 3 does in fact equal 4. So this is a good solution. So what does this one look like? In this particular case, I'm not familiar with what a square root plus a square root looks like. So I'm going to take my original equation, x minus 3 plus root x plus 5 equals 4, and I'm just going to use that first step and call this minus root x plus 5 plus 4, because I can graph this square root and I can certainly graph this square root. So our first square root is just shifted to the right 3. That's the right hand side. And it looks like this. And then our second one, if we use our graph shifting, we're going to go left 5 and we're going to go up 4. And this is a reflection on the x-axis. So we're going to go left 5 and up 4 and then reflect it, so it is actually going to go like this. And you notice that they cross at x equals 4. That concludes this video on radical equations.